The Dingo is a new release from Australia's own Fourth Circle Discs, so let's see if it'll steal that stable mid-range shot from your bag. And stick around to the end of the video for 2 chances at winning one of these. I've been super excited to get my hands on this disc because not only is this disc designed in Australia, it's also made here in Australia, and that to me is just super awesome. I really love that Fourth Circle Discs are embracing Australian manufacturing, and from the sounds of it, the relationship's going really well, and we'll continue with more discs in the future. So the Dingo is a stable to overstable disc with flight numbers of 5503. If I had to give it my own numbers, I'd say it's more of a 4.5, 403. But let's talk about the feel and finish of the disc first. So the Dingo has a fairly fat, blunt edge to the disc with a sort of typical concave bevel on the bottom. Interestingly, there is a small bead on both edges of the bevel, top and on the side. And as someone who doesn't really like beads on mid-ranges, I can't actually say it's been too much of an issue in terms of comfort on the grip. It's, to me, not that noticeable, but it is there. Personally, I'd say that the dome to this disc is fairly typical of most mid-ranges, but I have had a few people comment that they feel like the disc is a little flatter than most others, so. The rim width is maybe like 1mm thinner than most other 5-speed discs out there, hence why I was sort of picky and went with a 4.5 speed as my rating for this disc. But it also wasn't thin enough that it felt weird or like jarring to throw, so it didn't take that long to get used to. To me, it feels quite similar to a dynamic disc's Truth, even if it doesn't fly like one. So the top mold of the disc does appear to be finished to a slightly higher level than the bottom of the disc, where you can actually hear the machining marks if you run your fingernail over it. But it doesn't really impact on the feel of the disc, and it actually gives it kind of like a cool, lustery satin shine to it, which is kind of nice. We also have the Fourth Circle logo embossed on the bottom of the disc, which is a really nice touch. The plastic itself feels really premium and really durable. They seem like the kind of discs that you'll keep in your bag for years as they slowly bead in. So let's talk about the flight of these discs. Over the last 2 weeks, I've been throwing these a bunch, and I've played 2 Dingo only rounds out at Stony Creek, and I've had an absolute blast with these discs. It's a lot of fun. They're super versatile and workable in all conditions, and forehand and backhand still works really well. I feel like I can always get a really consistent release with this disc, and it hasn't taken that long for me to find trust in it. They're definitely an overstable disc with a good fade at the end, and they will fight out of an ante, but I wouldn't call them a meat hook. There's a really good balance here between forwards push and that fade at the end. I think that's really helped by the moderate amount of glide that this disc has. It's not a brick at all, but it also doesn't float around you and get weird in the wind. You can absolutely rip on these too. I can full mash a forehand on these, getting it to about 70 meters, but just really rely that it's going to handle the torque of a full forehand and get a full flight as well. For innover throwers, I place the stability of the Dingo between a Rock 3 and a Gator. Powering down on it, and it becomes a really nice approach disc too, similar to a Harp or a Zone. This disc really has the ability to kick a lot of other discs out of your bag if you wanted to commit to it. So when I first threw the Dingo, I didn't really know what to think of it. I don't really bag any discs that compare to it, but the more I've thrown it, the more I've really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend this as a stable mid for experienced players or as an overstable wind fighter for beginners. If you'd like to win this blue quad stamped Dingo or a brand new Dingo from Portal Disc Sports, just leave a comment below. Maybe let us know which disc you think the Dingo is going to kick out of your bag. So thanks for checking out this review. Remember to like and subscribe for more Australian disc golf content.
Oh!
It didn't go in?